related matters, and security consultant Richard Kumado says the fight against illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey, can only be won if the military is allowed to operate without political interference. His remarks follow the recent military helicopter crash that claimed 8 lives and plunged the nation into mourning. More in the following report by Daniel Sakti.
Ghana has laid to rest 8 victims of the Adansi helicopter crash in a solemn state burial. But even as the nation grieves, questions persist about the next steps in tackling the illegal mining menace, otherwise known as Galamsey. Speaking on City FM and ChannelOne TV's weekend current affairs program, The Big Issue, security consultant Richard Kumado warned that political interference in security operations continue to undermine efforts to protect communities from the destructive impact of illegal mining.
Actions of politicians and political actors have destabilized many communities and many states across the globe. And so we as law enforcement officers, we see civilians and we see politicians to be people who are trying to play hide and seek. If you leave this whole operation in the hands of the military in particular, they would have dealt with it in no time. You create a psychological problem for them when you ask them to go to the field and you are the same people holding their hands. And remember, the military is a government agency.
Member of Parliament for Wasa East, Isaac A.J. Mensah, also contributing to the discussion, added that the country must turn the moment of national grief into a catalyst for ending Galamsey.
The unity is there, except that this was the time that it was activated. The Ghanaian sense of unity and the, sympathy was really, really in display during this situation. And the president gave the directions and he gave leadership. And so this is the right opportunity, exactly so that the president, is talking about the need to kill, the need to control, the need to ensure that Galamsey is brought to a reasonable control is this. So that impetus, that motivation is there now, that we don't need to stop, because it seems that there is that unity now. These are, Ghanaians and able, smart people who were going for this official function.
Meanwhile, forensic medical scientist and security intelligence researcher Lawrence Kofi Echampo stressed the need for a multidisciplinary approach in investigating the August 6th helicopter crash, cautioning that the probe must go beyond aviation mechanics.
There is the aspect of the psychology, in terms of the psychology of the people who were even in the plane. It has to be analyzed, and the one who was even flying the plane, as Prof said. So it is a multifaceted area. Even some aspect of forensic, digital, and cybersecurity also comes in, because the flight was operated using, some technological advancements, which the digital forensic aspect comes in. Even some were saying there were calls made from the flight. So digital forensic aspect can also decode mobile phone forensics and know who actually, in fact, was actually communicated before this tragedy.
Aviation accident investigator Professor Kwesi Ejekum shared similar sentiments.
From a purely aviation accident investigator and also a safety consultant, it's always our hope that we don't have an aviation accident. And so what we do going forward, making sure that comprehensively we get to understand the causal and contributory factors to this accident, and then we ensure systemic improvement, and make our operations safe, is going to be the lasting legacy to the memory, especially of the service personnel.
President of Humani Africa, Franklin Kucho, on his part, urged the Ghana Armed Forces to prioritize unraveling the truths behind the crash, lamenting what he described as the systemic decline in military assets.
Whatever the Armed Forces, whatever council is interested in, they should be interested in just the truth, how this thing happened. No shielding. It will be foolhardy on their part to even entertain such a thought. It shouldn't be something that, Armed Forces, everything. What is secret? Secret about what? People have lost lives, or people will continue losing lives. As I hear, some of the aircraft that are, how do you call it, that old and disused are cannibalized to keep on peppering or tapering the ones that we have. What is this? What is this? I mean, I can't believe in for the life of me that we have an armed forces that is, even success are systematically in decline.
Former Kede MP Ofosu Asamoah has meanwhile also called for the establishment of a national fund to support families of personnel who lose their lives in the line of duty.
Instead of establishing, coming out with a fund on each case basis, perhaps in future we could have a fund or an insurance policy to take care of people. Because sometimes we may announce these funds that we have set up a fund, established budget, and years later you see people coming out to say that yes, the fund was established, we never benefited. We don't even know who the managers are.
Now, at least 4 people have died in a road